Robin Acton, and I'm the Head of Safety, Quality and Environment for Harsco Rail. So we operate, we design, build and operate road rail maintenance machines on behalf of Network Rail. Our biggest health risk currently with multi-purpose stone blowers are the fact that we have a number of safety issues which lead into the health problems. We have to wear hard hats, we have to wear eye protection, we have to wear dust protection, and we have to wear noise protection. So as a result of that, we have health issues relating to dust, noise, and objects. Our biggest issue was that many years ago we'd done a vast amount of noise assessment, which actually said we weren't doing too bad from a safety point of view. Okay, but it was only when one of our guys went for a medical, his driver's medical, and he came back with a reduction in his hearing capacity, did we think that we've now got a bigger issue here? What's going wrong? So we went back and reviewed what we did then, and we found that although we'd come up with some PPE, I solved the safety issue, the PPE was wrong for the task. And the guys, when they're out on the machine, have to wear a communication kit, as well as wearing eye protection and headwear. Coupled with dust, as a result of blowing stone into the ground, dust comes up, another health issue. We now got a guy that dresses up in a spacesuit. That was totally impractical to do. The MPS guys are probably most affected by this because they need the communications equipment to provide them with the hearing protection, as well as that they need the dust protection so that they don't get problems with their lungs. So it will be the multi-purpose stone blower operators who are mostly affected.
We had a lot to do with Robin. We got our safety team involved, and Robin came out and they actually tested us. They put test pads on us when we were actually out working to find out what contaminants there were in the stone and to find out the dangers that posed to operators outside.
The noise is the biggest issue currently, and that is partly to do with the weather. The weather obviously affects the dust. So at the moment the dust levels are low. In fact, the dust levels are so low that the guys aren't actually wearing dust protection. But the noise issue, we have now got 3 people that have noise-induced hearing loss. So therefore, we need to do something different. So that's a major issue.
Let me explain to you the equipment we had previously, before we got the new stuff, which consisted of the hard hat, which is compulsory on all Network Rail sites. We have our safety goggles, and we have our dust masks, which are uncomfortable, not fit for purpose in some occasions, especially if you have a beard like myself, and they are uncomfortable, and operators were not wearing them because of the comfort levels that these gave.
We started with an individual who had the complaint of noise-induced hearing loss brought up via his medical, but there was a bigger picture to this. And looking at that bigger picture, we needed the involvement of the staff to help us out and to help us identify what that problem was. Turns out that the noise-induced hearing loss needed to be combined with the dust issue. So we now have 2 issues brought together. As a result of that, I looked at 2 industry suppliers, one supplying noise equipment, communication equipment and noise attenuation, and another company that provided respiratory equipment. So we brought those 2 companies together with the guys out in the field where they trialled what they had to offer in terms of their products. And we came up with one solution which actually provides all the protection for noise, dust, eye protection, head protection, and also provides other benefits as well in terms of giving us good communication and hands-free. So we've gone from 5 or 6 pieces of PPE down to basically 1 from 2 companies.
So after speaking to Robin and a safety team about this, we've got in a company to come up with a solution of what we could do to make sure that people were wearing what they needed to wear to get the protection they afforded, and we've come up with the blown air system, which is now by far a better thing to use and more comfortable, easier to put on, less preparation, and it can be kept on throughout the shift. Comprises of, you have your safety helmet with visor built in and a skirt, which is then attached to a hose, which then attaches to my backpack, which is filtered air, which is blown through the helmet, so there is a positive pressure coming out all the time. So even if the skirt is not up tight, there is still a positive pressure coming out, which then stops the dust from getting in. This works great with our intercom system, which we communicate the inside operator and the outside operator. They work fine together as a pair. With this new equipment now, we've now combined 3 pieces all into one, with the comfort that you need to see you through a shift.
It's smart technology because all the time that it's working, it senses what's going on around. So as the sound comes in, it bounces sound back out again. So the problem has gone away. Not only that, but as a result of giving just one piece of PPE for these guys to wear, it means that it's easier, it's more comfortable, yeah? And the ongoing effect is that noise-induced hearing loss should not be a problem with this machine again. So we're coming towards the ends of our trials, but the initial reports is that it's made a big impact. We'll still have a process of monitoring the guys for noise-induced hearing loss, and that will continue for the next 2 years. One other benefit was that, according to the guys, they say that their general well-being, their work life during the day is just so much better. Instead of having all of this wonderful PPE on now, it's just one piece which fits suitably, keeps them cool, and keeps them healthy.
With the new gear, people are more than happy to wear it and spend as long out in the dust as they need to get the job done.
The biggest thing for me is that the guys who are using this equipment on a day-to-day basis say it's just changed the way that they work. Not only is it safer, but it's better for their health as well. So, if you was to ask me what advice I could give if you wanted to improve the longer-term health and well-being of your staff, then I would say speak to your staff. They are your most important asset, and if it's one thing that I've learned since I've been in this position, is that you can't do this job without them. They know everything there is to know about what they have to do and its pitfalls. I have one philosophy, and that philosophy is that everybody has the right to return home in the exact same condition that they left for work in the morning. So if you left being able to play with your kids, you should go home to be able to play with your kids. And that's what drives me forward. So that the well-being, the welfare, the health of your staff to be able to live outside of the working hour is my #1 priority.
Robin Acton from Harsco was combining the use of 3 types of personal protective equipment. That's the ideal to do that combination so that you get the air-fed hood situation. But it isn't the type of solution that fits every situation. For some people, it will be a case of you continuing to use face masks. And it's important to select the right one with the right filter and with the right fit. So actually a company installing face fit testing arrangements can be quite beneficial so that the guys are selecting an appropriate face mask. There's a lot of good information on HSE's website on respiratory protective equipment. Terribly important to have a tight, good-fitting, comfortable face mask using the right filters for the situation that it will be used in. People have to be clean-shaven. If you have stubble, unshaven, have beards, you're not going to get that tight, comfortable grip. You're going to have a leaky mask, which means you're just going to be exposed to the dust you were trying to avoid. So going through an exercise of face fit testing, beneficial because then you can get the right mask for the right situation. There are some companies who do this very well, and it would to be encouraged to go and learn from each other if they don't know how to set up face fit testing.